moment, she's going to share her presentation, which is called Searching for Our Roots, Getting Grounded Physically, Mentally and Socially. And it's all about how Chu has used plants and therapeutic horticulture with dementia care groups and minority peoples living in remote places. Chu is a chairwoman since 2018 of the Taiwan Green Association, and since 2014, a registered horticultural technician with the Canadian Horticultural Therapy Association. Following a business career in Taiwan and overseas in Europe and Asia, she trained in horticulture therapy in Vancouver and then completed an internship at the Helios Clinic in Hattingen, Germany. During this time, she published articles about gardening and health in Austrian journals. During 9 years working as a horticulture therapist with the Miaoli Nature Society in Taiwan, she ran sessions for seniors, women and children in danger, immigrants and inmates, and designed educational programs about endangered species in Taiwan, including leopards and cypress. She also led ethnobotany and rural community development projects for minorities in Cambodia, Malaysia, and Taiwan. Since 2010, she has been a volunteer at the National Hakka Museum and the National Taiwan Craft Research and Development Institute. She's a native speaker of Chinese and Hakka, but in addition to her excellent English, she also speaks basic Japanese and German. It's my very great pleasure to pass you over now to Chi, who's going to share her screen and her presentation. Chi.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Yes, is that clear? Okay, then, so now I'm going to slowly start my presentation. I'm Ching from Taiwan, and currently I'm a registered horticultural therapy technician in Canadian Horticultural Therapy Association. Today, I would like to share my root searching journey. After being an international sales for more than 10 years in different countries, and I think I got lost. And so I decided to search for my root. And my grandfather gave me a hint. That's my name. He chose 2 plants. So here you can see my name in Chinese, Zhi and Jing. Basically, these 2 names are plant names, and they live along the river. So because I was born in the year of ox, so my grandfather wanted to ensure I have enough food all my life to eat. So that's how I get my name, Zhi Qing. And the Wu in Chinese means witch. So I read my family book. It seems our family, like my ancestors, served as a priest for the emperor. Well, who knows? Maybe it's just a myth, a mystery. Okay, so I joined a nature society in my hometown Miaoli in Taiwan, and I was fascinated by the diversity of native plants. So after I know the healing power of nature, I decided to go to Canada and receive a horticultural therapy training program from Master Horticultural Therapist, Miss Ann Kent. Das geht nicht. Okay. So my ancestor came to Taiwan from Hakka ethnic group in Guangdong, China, more than 300 years ago. And he married a daughter of Saisiat tribe leader in Taiwan. That's how we got our land. So the more I learned about my ancestors' wisdom, the more I was amazed how their wisdom help our people get grounded and benefit from nature. I'm going to share some ideas about 24 solar turns, ethnobotany and the festival and culture, as well as some application of plants and therapeutic horticulture with dementia care group, minority people living in remote places, and prison. There are therapeutic programs, vocational programs, and the social wellness program. Here we can see a maple tree. Here, this is in our village. So my ancestor built a shrine for Earth God next to this maple tree. So we always seek for comfort and blessing from the Earth God and this tree. So here you can see 24 solar turns. After observing changes in nature, so Chinese people set up 24 solar turns in a year and conclude routines in each solar turn, such as the season to plant or the season to harvest. We learn from our experience and work with the flow of nature. When we live in harmony with nature, we receive the most benefits from nature, physically and mentally. So human can sense changes in nature and act or accordingly. When yin rises, our body conserves energy and rests. When yang rises, our body releases energy and acts. We wake up at sunrise and go home at sunset. So here is the Yellow Emperor's Classic on Medicine. So it's a very, very old book. It was added around 2600 BC. And we know how nature yin and yang works and learn from nature. To be physically and mentally healthy, we eat seasonal food and follow nature rhythm in our daily life. Work on different seasonal tasks productively, but don't get burned out. When we age naturally, we accept and cope with our body and mind. So here I include some Chinese, but maybe only few people can understand. I just try to translate it. And here we can see, okay, when our body or mind doesn't function well, we try to connect to nature and get in line with it in many ways. So like go hiking or visit gardens. By doing so, we perceive qi, the energy from nature, and find balance. Furthermore, we borrow energy from nature. The essential oil is a gift from trees. So in our therapeutic horticulture programs, our participants are energized by smelling or touching trees around us. We even make like very simple aroma water with the leaves. So yesterday was the beginning of a solar turn called Awakening Insects. So supposedly we will have thunders in the spring, awakens insects on the ground. So all creatures are ready to grow in this solar turn. So in the HT or TH programs, we encourage participants to get energized in the nature. So here, this is a book we got from our shrine. So it's called Farmer's Planting Calendar. It's all in Chinese, but you can see that every day, like here is March. So we have day March 1st, March 2nd, and today is March 7th. And according to this calendar, okay, we are supposed to grow some beans and we are supposed to catch some butterfish from the ocean, according to this calendar. Okay, so our senior group always have great discussions about the good old days, what they have done according to the farmer's calendar when they were young on their farms, you know. And also on these days, our participants will harvest fresh seasonal vegetable to make spring rolls. So this sprout bring us vitality. Each ethnic group has its own ways to use plants. So Harsh Berger said, ethnobotany discusses the use of plants by primitive and Aboriginal people. So according to Turner, ethnobotany is the science of people's interaction with plants. I consider traditional Chinese medicine, Hakka ethnobotany, and indigenous ethnobotany as a part of my root. As I have explained, my ancestor came from China. We are Hakka people, and also half of our ancestors were the Saisiat tribe group in Taiwan. So I also design programs with this knowledge. So this is a book called 本草纲目. Basically, it records all the Chinese medicine, how we use all these herbs. So according to Chinese medicine, we can use, eat, or drink different herbs in different seasons. So here, for example, so with the mugwort is, I think you can also find mugwort in Europe. And we have a foot bath in the spring. And we also try some simple acupuncture with very easy. We just have a slice of ginger on your hand, and then you put some mug powder and burn it. It sounds really awkward, but it's not, you just feel the heat, and then it's supposed to help your blood circulation. So here is we also have two books. Okay, it's called Taiwan Hakka Ethnic Plants. So we have two books. One is the pictures, and another one is the applications, how we use these plants. So we ask our seniors and write down the daily use of these plants. That's how we get the book. So in the book, you can see in our sessions with elder groups, grandpa and grandmas, they love to share their memory with plants in their childhood. So we are writing down their life experience. Our indigenous tribes are masters of plants in their areas. So we respect nature and use plants efficiently without any waste. So nature nourishes and protects us. That's our beliefs. So here you can see some children, they are celebrating. We just found our native plants. We try to plant back to our forest. And we also have some offerings to the earth god. You can see in the picture. Okay, so here this is some fun craft making activities. So sometimes we have in some social well-being sessions, children can interact with seniors, and they make crafts together. So this is my niece. She just used the leaf to make the fan, and then in the summer we can use the fan at home. It's not so hot. So when designing HT programs, we use as many native plants as we can. We relate diverse uses to people's memory and personal experience. Our participants even develop potential applications of plants with therapists. So they enjoy such devotions. And we found a lot of interesting intergeneration interactions in our communities. So festivals and culture play important roles in our daily life, as well as in HT and TH programs. Our participants enjoy harvesting. When we rest in nature, we are energized and have fun with plants. So this is a Saisia group, tribe group. They have their dance in the festival, in the autumn festival. So in the festival, we cherish what nature gives us and show our gratitude. Okay, so herbs are used to protect us. In the spring festival, the Ching festival, we eat desserts made with fresh new mugwort leaves to get vitality. And in summer festival, the Dragon Boat Festival, we will hand, as you can see, we will hand the mugwort and on our door to expel illness, okay, or some evil spirit. So these practices comfort our participants, especially senior participants, in different programs. So this is my grand aunt. She is the biggest, she always joins my programs in our community programs. So we design fun activities and help our participants have interesting experience with nature. And I'm taking a horticultural therapy certificate course in the University of Florida. And I noticed some theories can well explain why our ancestors benefit from nature physically and mentally. So for example, from the evolutionary theory, we know humans respond positively to and have an unlearned tendency toward nature features. So when we are aware of changes in the nature, we pay attention to the present moment purposefully without judgment. So mindfulness is an inherent capacity of human beings. So our ancestors always remind us to be mindful and calm in the nature. So then the stress reduction theory indicates that our capacity to recover from stress is enhanced by exposure to green spaces. So these spaces reduce arousal and negative thoughts. And now I'm going to share some programs in which I applied our ancestors' wisdom. There are 2 therapeutic programs, dementia care group and minority children in need. So 1 vocational programs, that's a prison group in Taiwan, and also 2 social wellness programs. One is an ethnic group in remote village in Taiwan. Another one is minority people living in remote places in Cambodia. So the first one is the therapeutic horticulture program in the support center for people with dementia and their family. So it's organized by Taipei City Hospital. It started in December 2018 and ended in November 2019. The location is in Nangang High School in Taiwan, in Taipei, and the detailed information is provided by Xing. She is a clinical psychologist from Taipei City Hospital. So there are 25 participants with dementia from the city hospital and the communities. Most of them were rated mild or moderate in clinical dementia rating. This program mainly focused on social models. So 2 horticultural therapists, including me, designed some therapeutic models with the help of clinical psychologists. So we hope participants can decrease feeling of isolation and build a network of new friends. They can maintain some living and self-care independence. We also want to increase caregivers and the participants' awareness of nutrition, because sometimes our senior participants, maybe they just at some stage they would kind of neglect the nutrition they should take. They don't care what they are eating. So we pay attention to that. And here, to facilitate social interactions, participants were divided randomly into small groups every session. And garden walks encourage participants to exercise and relax. So here, and a photographer, this is our photographer, would told them photo shooting, which inspire observation and self-esteem. Most of our participants haven't taken pictures for a long time, and they love to see themselves in the colorful garden. So, and they can also share the photos with their family members. So while making desserts with seasonal fruit or plants, they serve others and they retain some activities of daily living. And everyone shared knowledge about herbs and nutrition. Craft making promoted range of motions as well as creativities. when participants enjoy interesting festival activities. We have our indoor activities in the community activity room and the garden walks on campus. And here we have some interesting facts. Participants become more energetic and talkative, and community volunteers help participants move safely. And the caregivers from other countries, most of them are from Indonesia or maybe Thailand or Vietnam. They love to share their knowledge about plants. So solar turns, Chinese medicine, and ethnobotanists are always good topics to discuss in our sessions. So most grandpa and grandma were from China. Okay, so they came here maybe 40 or 50 years long, and some were from villages in Taiwan. So they sometimes share their seasonal activities in different solar turns and how they planted seeds or according to farmers' planting calendar I just mentioned. So in each solar turn, we would discuss about seasonal vegetables or fruits and how to use traditional Chinese medicine in our cuisine. And they liked plants with good meanings. So like this flower is called long life flowers. This is one of their favorite. And so such discussions and activities remind them of time, because most participants with dementia, sometimes they lose track of time. So a lady was very quiet in our indoor activities. So after the winter sessions, we start our spring session. So we encourage her to have the garden walk with us. And she was energized by the spring spirit. And the wall pink, like Fiona just mentioned to me, I didn't notice, like, yeah, most of our ladies wear pink or red clothes in the spring sessions. I don't know why, but every time before our session, because they know they are going to have photo shooting, so they even have their hair done and have some makeup. Sometimes I forgot to remind them. They will complain I didn't remind them, give them some time to have makeup. And so and then the lady I just mentioned, she became very active. And she even comforted another participant and gave him some suggestions to get along with family members. So we were quite surprised, because in the indoor activities, she was very quiet and she didn't have a lot of reactions in the indoor activities. And so as we can see, participants were happy birds in the garden. So this gentleman, he was finally persuaded by peers and walk in the sunshine. So in the beginning, I thought he couldn't walk because he always sat in the wheelchair. But no, his caregiver just follow all his instructions. So that's why he became a little bit lazy. So he was a retired general. He used to be a general. And he has been very depressed for a long time after his stroke. But eventually he stood up and have fun in the garden. So now let's go to the next project. So here is a project called Shen Nong. So Shen Nong in Chinese means farmer's god or agricultural god. So this project is sponsored by Lovely Taiwan Foundation. They started this project in Miaoli in 2015. So they used to work with 22 schools all over Taiwan. So this is Taiwan. We say Taiwan looks like a sweet potato. I don't know if you think it's like a sweet potato or not. And but now we still have 17 schools are still actively participating in here, and its mission is to promote diverse horticultural activities and help children connect with their land. We hope children can build their self-esteem after they find their self-identity. So ethnobotanists plays an important role in our program design. We have children aged 3 to 12 at kindergartens and elementary schools. So they come from different indigenous groups and ethnic groups in the remote villages. Most of them live with one parent or grandparents. So the main program models are social wellness program because we focus on social skills and confidence. They usually have very few opportunities to develop at home or at school. So one on elementary school is located in the middle of rice paddies and have 63 students, including kindergarten students. So teachers and tribe leaders hope children can learn and to appreciate Mother Nature and some tribal knowledge. So by doing so, we hope they can get grounded and develop their self-esteem and find their self-identity. So here there is
最深的感觉是池上泥土散发。
So children are fascinated to, in this session, children are fascinated to find seeds in the forest because this school is surrounded by the forest and they learn how our ancestors used these seeds. So we planted on our campus vegetable gardens, and an artist helped children to express their thoughts about their homeland. So here, okay, so here you can see their artwork. So by growing seeds, they learn more about their land, people, and identity. So can you feel their love in their paintings? So this nest is full of seeds they found in the forest. So, okay. So one important tribal skill is dry land farming. So tribe leaders share that stones can help water saving. So we didn't have to remove all of the stones from our farm. So after we connect to nature, we turn wild plants to our food and herbs. So we respect nature resources and take care of plants as our responsibility. So when we have extra, we want to share and benefit from the well-being in the whole community. Good. So they just use some leaves they collect from the forest. So children are encouraged to find their favorite leaves and tell their own stories with their leaf printing artwork. So we try to facilitate their curiosity to nature and awareness of environmental conservation, since the nature is protecting us. So one thing came to our attention is self-criticism, maybe caused by cultural imperialism. So we share new ideas about balanced diets and environmental conservation from our modern world. However, not killing animals, this concept might be a contrast to their hunting tradition. So some traditional fermented food might not be acceptable in the modern world. So I think we should be more open-minded to different practice of different people in different places. So I also noticed this kind of difference or contrast when I serve in Cambodia or in Malaysia. Okay, next one. So here there are 112 students in Chaodong Elementary School. Since the teacher is concerned about students' confidence and slow development at school, So first, we have groups of students at all ages. So older ones, they can teach younger ones. And the younger ones, they try as much as they can. You know, some of them are just like 3 years old or 4 years old, but they try to help. And they solve problems together and learn from each other. So this is how our farmers support each other in the villages. So just like our ancestors, we forage natural materials and make our own crowns. So these crowns, which represented ourselves, our identity. And to develop a positive relationship with parents and the grandparents, we encourage our students to ask their family members how to use the plants we grew in our garden. So here you can see, so these babies, they harvest the vegetable and they try to make fermented pickles with this vegetable. And here we harvest the herbs and we make some spray in the summer. So now is next project. This Young Generation Coming Home project was sponsored by Hakka Affairs Council in Taiwan. And young people were invited to work and live with villagers in mountainous areas. So we serve 81 students in Penglai Elementary School and 12 seniors in villages. And there was a diverse combination of villagers, including indigenous Saisia people, Hakka people, and immigrants from Southeast Asia. So teachers, they concern about children's physical and mental health, as domestic violence, substance and alcohol abuse were emerging problems in villages. Actually, not only in this village, in many indigenous village in mountains, because we have many precious wood or trees in the forest. So sometimes some criminal groups, they use drug to attract people, lead them to find these trees. So this is a serious problem. And this program mainly focuses on social models. So the horticulture therapist, I designed some therapeutic models with the help of teachers. So we have 12 sessions in 3 months. So here, working with indigenous tribes in our mountainous area, I noticed elders and the children were left in the villages. And so for children, our goals are to increase socialization skills with peers and adults, increase attention span and concentration, improve problem solving, independent decision-making skills, and increase ability to seek assistance. And for our seniors, we hope to increase social interaction with peers and with younger generation. And also we hope they can maintain some cognitive functions. We are very lucky to have a forest and a river nearby. And besides, we have planting, craft making, and cooking activities in classrooms, tribe gathering point, and a temple. And in our green care programs, children were asked to consult their parents or grandparents about plants, how they used and planted in their gardens. They can easily collect, like this boy is in the spring, so he just collect some bamboo shoot. And also each family, as you can see from the picture, they dry herbs in front of their houses. And so knowledge exchange among the different ethnic groups and generations was facilitated when children share with their peers. So forest is the best place to have a mindfulness walk. So after a month, children even start to share their emotions or thoughts in the forest. So because we talk to tribe leaders and seniors, so we could include some native plants in our sessions. So children were asked to collect seeds and herbs from their grandmother's gardens. So they learned to take care of seedlings and also themselves at the same time. So each children became a little fox in the forest. So they pay attention to their surrounding, the abundance of colors, smells, and other stimulus help them to concentrate and relax. So we ask them, which spot do you like? And which tree do you prefer? And how do you feel? So gradually they found peace in nature. So at the same time, they learn to respect for nature and be centered and grounded. When they smile and sing, they also talk about their fears, worries, and even more to their caring trees. So they try to find their caring tree in the forest. So sometimes they also share with us. So they will ask, caring tree, can you listen to me? And so at the end of our forest trail, we took off our shoes and play with dogs in the village. So the cool water comforted us and brought away the thoughts we decided to let go. We also learned the rhythm of nature. So in each solar turn, we would use seasonal ethnic plants to make us stronger. So desserts were always welcomed by children and the seniors. So we also share with the village. So when they write down all steps in their recipe book, then they can find their identity and complete a task with their teams. So children were brought new ideas back to their family and connected different ethnic groups in their communities. We found different applications of the same plants, but different ethnic groups with different applications. And the children, they try to make gifts with these plants and share with their family. They also solve problems with their team members. So traditional Chinese medicine, Hakka ethnic plants, indigenous plants, even Southeast Asian plants are all very variable in our daily life. So we try to blend aroma from these plants and make aroma water, which protects us from the insect bites. So in autumn, we ended our project with a hand puppet show in front of the earth god. So each child will play a role, maybe some animals or some plants. So they also make desserts and invite their family to enjoy the feast. And we even had matching games. So each family would match the plants and with the information card. So it's kind of a review of our ethnobotanic knowledge. So here is another project. This is a 2-year program, was designed for minorities in Winsai village, is in Ratanakiri province in Cambodia. So we served 32 students in Guanghua Chinese school and 18 women in the village. They were mainly Lao and Hakka people, and some participants were genocide survivors. We have social wellness models and hope to increase their self-esteem and self-confidence. At the same time, they could learn about healthy diet and hygiene practices. They were encouraged to express their thoughts and emotions. There was no doctor there, so we only have one nurse working part-time in the village office. So that's why we share herbs from our kitchen and some simple healthcare routines. The forests around the villages were full of herbs and spices. So we used them in our sessions and share different applications. And we set up herb gardens behind their houses. So to protect seedlings from the flood, which comes every year, we grew these seedlings on raised beds. So the more we talk in the garden, I noticed the more participants can share their feelings, emotions, even their suffering during the genocide. So these children have ancestors immigrated from southern China about 100 years ago. So they learn, so in our session, they can learn plants brought by their ancestors and have some fun activities with these plants. So like the leaf printing to show their emotions. Okay, this is my last program I want to share. This is a program in Xindian Drug Abuser Treatment Center in Taiwan. We serve 15 inmates incarcerated, rated for a crime, maybe involved drugs or drug use. And there is a higher recidivism rate. Okay, they were aged from 20 to 70. The psychologists in this center discussed programs goals with us. So goals were care to the self, have experience of being responsible for other lives, and to develop pre-vocational skills, such as positive group interactions. So since they were confined in the prison, so we brought seasonal plants and grew seeds according to 24 solar terms. So this is a way for them to connect to nature and the outside world. So we discussed about flowers in their hometown and asked them to write down some messages. So here in this card, the participants said these flowers remind him of the first bouquet he gave to his wife. Oh, look a little bit funny, huh? We used some herbs to make herbal tea, and also we have some fun. We make a facial mask with the herbal tea. So participants, they have opportunities to take care of themselves. And so during the holiday seasons, we make gifts for ourselves, and also people in need. So we discussed with the psychiatrist and decided to have a gift exchange with students in danger. So these students, they may drop from schools for various seasons. So we try to keep them at school. So my researching journey started in my hometown, Miaoli, and was empowered when I received my horticulture therapy training in Canada. So there I visit a community garden for immigrant families. And so I got some great ideas from educational program of ethnic plants and Aboriginal community kitchen garden in the University of British Columbia. So some new immigrants were provided seeds from their motherland by the local government.
That's 5 minutes left, Ching.
I know. I'm going to finish. Thank you for the reminder. So these immigrants, they even built a gathering point and bonfire for the community, and also a nature building for the younger generation. And I'm still on my journey and feel grounded in my motherland. And it's great that I can share with people around the world. Thank you. Finished.
Thank you, Chu. You can unshare now, please. That would be great.
Sure.
So we can see everyone.
Yep.
Lovely. Thank you. That was fantastic. It was fascinating. I feel like I've been on a tour with you to some of the remote areas of Taiwan, even though I didn't leave my desk. It was really great to hear. And it was so fascinating to hear how you skillfully adapted therapeutic gardening and botany and traditional ideas of growing to so many different situations. I feel it's really broadened my concept of therapeutic gardening. So I'm going to hand over to Jo now, who is going to voice some of the questions, and we can open up to more questions.
Hi there. Hello, everybody. I've got a bit of a croaky throat, so hopefully you'll hear me okay. That was really interesting, fabulous. I've got a couple of questions here for you. Jenny was first up, and she would like to know, in urban Taiwan today, have people lost their connection with seasonal food and the use of the solar terms? Is it now only the grandparents' generation who are familiar with this way of life?
Yes. Basically, nowadays, I think our daily life is very modernized. So most of people, they buy their food from the supermarket, like any big cities in the world. So sometimes in the supermarket is commercial productions. So you can buy vegetables, non-seasonal vegetables all year round, right? So that's true. And but fortunately, now at school we have a program for the whole elementary school. We have a program called the food education, the seasonal food and agriculture education programs. So I'm also a part of the coach. We teach especially young children like to know how we grow food and each season what we should eat. It's also for their teach them how to get the right nutrition for the right season. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answers your question. Jenny, if you want some more, you can put your hand up and ask for some more information. And please, folks, do put some questions in the chat if you would like to, or raise your hand in the reactions button and I'll spot you and we can ask you to voice your question directly to Ching. I have a question for you, and it was to do with your dementia program. Now the photography, I love the use of photography, and you mentioned how the clients, the ladies in particular, love to get their hair done and makeup. That's just so joyful to hear and for them to be part of. You mentioned that you used a lot of community volunteers in the program. Are the volunteers easy to recruit and retain?
Yes. It's okay. So I don't know in other countries, but I'm also a volunteer in some like museum or some craft making institutes. So we have a kind of system like we can recruit volunteers and we can get points. So these points means in the future when we visit any museum or any institutions run by the government, then we can have maybe cheaper ticket or something. So people here in Taiwan, we love to be, especially people retired, they love to be volunteers. Then they can accumulate their points.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Oh, well, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And usually they are very, very helpful. And because they also love the plants and also the nature. And also I want to mention that since you asked about the photo shooting, one thing we noticed, like we asked the participants to take pictures of each other. Okay. So sometimes they cannot focus, but gradually they can focus. And we noticed they have very interesting angles when they take pictures of each other. So that's one thing I think maybe you can try in your sessions.
Oh, absolutely. I'll certainly be using that myself. Jo has a question, going back to your very first project that you shared with us, the dementia project in the city itself in Taiwan. You mentioned that the program only ran for about a year, I think, from December 18 to December 19. Was there a particular reason for that the program was?
Yes. Very, very professional question. True. So, you know, usually this kind of it's not a real evidence-based project. However, we do get some fundings from our government. So this Taipei City government, Taipei City Hospital is belongs to the city government, and they got fundings from the government. But usually the funding is only for 1 year. Sometimes even shorter, sometimes maybe 3 months or 6 months. So we can only design our programs according to the time frame they set up for us.
Okay, and will you be able to reapply for similar funding to restart that project perhaps?
Yes, for example, me, I prefer to apply fundings from our agricultural councils. So somehow, I don't know why, it's easier and that we can get bigger funding from the agriculture department, not from our healthcare authority. I don't know why, but that's the way it is in Taiwan.
Okay, oh well, good luck with your funding applications.
Thank you.
I've got another couple of questions here. To do with the inmates in the prison. You mentioned you worked in a project with 15 inmates who were inside prison for drug-related crimes. Were the 15 prisoners, did they self-refer themselves to the project, or were they selected from the prison?
Another very professional question. Yes, so the psychiatrist choose which inmates could participate in this project, because basically they were heavy users of drug. They used to be, okay, they used to be heavy user of drug, and some might have a violent tendency. So the psychiatrist will evaluate their physical and the mental health, and then decide who can join this kind of program.
Okay, and will that program continue in the prison, or do you plan to stay working with the prison service, or will you remove yourself in the hope that they continue to do it themselves? Sorry.
You know, it's quite hard to continue this project. Why? Because this project, we also got funding from the agriculture department. However, it was a test. They want to test the green care programs in this kind of in prisons. So, but they just a trial. So they didn't expect to have a long-term program at the moment. So, and also there are a lot of, actually it's not easy, you know, we have all our activities indoor. The inmates couldn't even go outdoor to plant their seedlings. So that's why we have the exchange program with the school children. The seedling we have in the prison, they cannot grow in the garden. So we send these seedlings to the school, okay, to the students, so they can grow on their campus garden.
That's great. And once the plant has grown, if it's flowers or an edible plant, do you share it back with the prisoners?
Yes, that's what we do.
Great, fabulous. Okay, I'm aware of the time, but I've got 2 questions. I'm going to be very quick. Sally asks, which client group has been the most rewarding, and where would you like to work next, and with whom?
Emotional wording? I think it would be children.
Okay.
Yes. Especially in the, as maybe you can guess already, I share a lot of programs in the remote areas, so I think I will continue to work with them. That's what I'm working on now. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And my last question, Fiona, to Ching, is the caring tree is a lovely idea. Everybody was loving that. Did you come up with that idea yourself, or had you seen that being used somewhere else?
No, I learned this concept from my teacher, Dr. Claire Edouard. She's from France, and she developed this practice when she worked in India. So she helped some nomadic tribes in India, help them to get settled down. So that's how they develop this kind of practice. We get energies from trees. So different trees have different function. We have caring trees, mother trees, energy trees, different kind of functions. Yes.
Great, fabulous. I think we'll all be using caring trees over here. Great. Thank you so much. Fiona, I'm going to hand back to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan and Joe. I just want to mention a few of the lovely comments. We're kind of out of time, but I don't know if you've seen these, Joe, but some of the people in the chat are saying thank you, how inspiring these programs are, how interesting they are, and really interesting to discover the relationship between therapeutic horticulture and traditional Chinese culture and ways of cultivating. And also from Natalia in Melitopol in Ukraine, she's congratulating us all for the opening of the seminar and wishing us well in a fruitful seminar series. So I just wanted to draw everyone's attention to those messages. So thank you, that's been really great, and we're so grateful for all the work you've put into to give